It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
And welcome to the realm of geekdom. This is nerd breaking news. We actually have some news that came out we want to share with you, and that is Batman 2 news that we have. And from the reports that we're looking at here, it is stated that James Gunn says that the movie is still happening. It's really important despite all the stories of the contrary, and that we're supposed to see that script shortly. Kid, let's go ahead and give me a little bit more detail what's going on with this film.
So it's a lot of stuff going on with this film. First of all, like it feels like it's forever, but the first one came out such a long time ago now because of COVID and all that stuff. So Robert Pattinson is close to 40. He's like in his late 30s. So by the time this movie comes out, he'll be in his 40s. But the problem is he's supposed to be year 2 Batman. That's the first issue. It's taken a long time to get the ball moving and production going, all that stuff. The movie made close to $800 million. The Penguin, which was connected to this, it is the masterpiece comic book show. And so Matt Reeves has yet to turn in the script to the DC studios and James Gunn for approval. And so the fact that Gunn confirmed today earlier in an interview, a lot of fans are speculating because of Matt Reeves' involvement with the DCU. And Clayface, he's executive producer of that Clayface standalone film that's coming out next year. The speculation is whether or not, and again, Gunn has confirmed this, right? Gunn has said several times before that Robert Pattinson is not going to be his Batman. His Batman is going to be different because remember, Batman, his movie is going to be Batman Brave and the Bold, and it's going to be about Damian Wayne and then the other Robin and the Bat family. Batman has yet to be cast. Today we got earlier news that Wonder Woman is moving forward. James Gunn is writing it, but yet no Batman.
Do we know why were the causes of the delays for this script? Because I know they've been wanting the script for a while now.
Yeah, so again, while it hasn't been confirmed yet, somebody on YouTube, a scooper, her channel, she tweeted or she said something with regards to Matt Reeves' family's health, and everybody went crazy because that's a private matter and nobody knew what was going on. It's still not confirmed, by the way. It's just, again, that's the rumors going on. So that's a delay in it. And also, Matt Reeves has said several times that he's a perfectionist. He likes to take his time and all that stuff. So long story short is, and I guess my question is, I don't think it's going to happen because I think James Gunn has his own vision of what his Batman wants to be. This is Matt Reeves' Batman. And I just think that, if it comes to fruition, because there's a lot of people that love this version of Batman now, and I'm included, it theoretically it could work with David Corey as Superman. I think it can, and I think that for two reasons. One, Bruce is the dark, Cal is the light. If you watch the Batman, it's been raining in night the majority of the movie. A lot of people have a misconception of what Bruce is in that movie, the whole emo thing and all that stuff. It's based on several comic books. It's based on Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves said that part 2 is going to be his transformation to the Bruce Wayne that we know about. So a lot of people were complaining when the movie came out. That's not Christian Bale's Playboy version of Bruce Wayne. Yeah, that's because he's not there yet. It's year 2. It's per Matt Reeves.
It's still early in his career, yeah, and he still needs time to be able to build up. Professor, obviously, you're don't agree with Superman and Batman coming in together. Tell us why is that?
Man, first of all, let me tell y'all why the WB/DC are cutting all these films. Because it's splitting the company in half. It's all over the financial news. They have over, I think it's $50 billion in debt, and they're splitting the company in 2 parts. And they can only make movies that make big money. That's why you're not going to see Sergeant Rock, nothing like that. That's probably also why they're trying to do this desperation move of putting together their homeless-looking Batman with their sunshine and rainbows-looking Superman. When you look at it, one of the questions goes back to tone. When you're looking at Man of Steel had a whole bunch of issues because the tone was off. When you darken Batman, bad things happen. So the next question is, do you want to lighten up Batman? You might be able to do that with Christian Bale's Batman a little bit, but this version of Batman looking homeless, smelly, depressed, like he belongs in an asylum, that I don't see that. Plus Robert Pattinson, when you're looking at the way that he chooses, the kind of acting that he chooses to do, dark, troubled, broken, that's his thing. When you take him away from his thing, and all of a sudden he's here, Playboy Suavemente, all that stuff, we're going back to Twilight, basically.
No,
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
no.
It's gonna look
Look
like the
at Tenet.
Twilight.
Look at Tenet, right? He was in
Yeah,
Tenet.
nobody looked at Tenet. Exactly.
Okay, and how did he do in Tenet as that Playboy?
Correct. No one remembers. Exactly. And the thing is that when you're looking
Now
at
Robert
it,
Pattinson is not attractive, apparently, according to the fact. Now Robert Pattinson is not.
Yeah,
it's not about him being attractive. It's about what mold of actor do you want to be and what are you actually good at. When you're looking at his skill is charismatic broken characters. That's his skill. When he deviates from that, he's okay, but it's not necessarily memorable. So the thing is that you're actually reducing his impact. And sure, if you're a Superman fan, that's great because you got a Batman character as a backup to Superman. Awesome. But if you're a Batman fan more than a Superman fan, that's a pretty troubling idea. Are you going to have him in blue and gray rather than the black and gray they got going on here? Like, how's it going to work? And ultimately, I think that what it shows you is that for DC, even though they're probably going to get a home run with the Superman movie, after that, they probably ain't got much. So just like what happened last time, because we've been through this before.
No, we haven't.
They rushed the idea.
When have we read this before? When?
A movie literally called Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
Where they
that came after what movie?
I believe it was Man of Steel, correct?
Correct. And what happened in the last 20 minutes of Man of Steel that everybody walked out?
Martha. That's what happened.
No,
Martha.
No, you didn't hear me. What happened in Man of Steel that everybody said, all right, I'm done. That's not my Superman. What happened?
But let me jog your memory a bit. First, you got what people consider to be the greatest Batman put together. Then you had a Superman movie that was controversial for sure. But then what they ended up doing is rather than put anything else in between, they just mashed them together. And then you got something that tonally was completely off. So if you're looking at the Superman that was presented in Batman versus Superman, that wasn't bad. But the problem is the stench of what they did before never got washed off. And the thing is, this time around,
as opposed to now, it looks like, and me, you talked about this earlier, he made a great point. It feels like the general public, not the nerd, but the actual general public has gotten the Superman that they want, they remember, that they care for.
Correct. So now what's happening is DC Studios is jerking off in the corner somewhere, and they're saying, "Let's do it again. It's gonna work this time, guys." And they're gonna give you the exact same concept that they did last time. A world's finest movie where the two of them join together again. And don't be surprised if you have the exact same problem. At the end of the day, the issue with the last one, underneath the story, the plot, whatever, the tones didn't match. There wasn't enough time spent trying to match tones and creating an actual functioning
James
universe.
Gunn won't allow that. That's not him.
James Gunn won't allow what?
That tone? He's not going to allow that tone to be replicated again.
And you also have to think about what we had before too, where Superman was a little bit more darker and Batman was a little bit more lighter. So they were able to kind of mesh right in the middle. In this case, you actually have two extremes of it. How would that match? That role, like, I know you're coming in from like a third perspective over here. What do you think? Like, you think this will be able to work out?
It's even worse.
No, but I think it would. I think it would. Like, listen, we need to give a chance to James Gunn and DC on this one, right? I think they did the right thing. Listen, my perspective on this is very simple. I think they did the right thing by basically killing the switch on everything that had happened with the previous iterations of both Superman, Batman, and also the Justice League in general. It just didn't work. It got a lot of backlash. A lot of people were unhappy with what they saw. Okay, and then we have the whole situation with Snyder fans, and to be completely honest, they see more Snyder fans than fans of DC or fans of whatever character, right? Like they just basically brought so much negativity that I think starting over and resetting was the right approach. If anything, Batman, part one really showed you that. If anything, I was skeptical as well, right, of the whole tone that it was going to bring. Even Pattinson didn't convince me at all. But to be completely honest, we saw the first movie, we all liked it, okay, and we gave it a score that was probably higher than we would have expected. Superman, again, a reset, coming in with new ideas, maybe coming back to what people used to remember about Superman, right? And to be completely honest, based off that alone, I think we need to give them a chance. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to, I see what Justin is saying, okay? I see that from an initial perspective, it doesn't look that the two tones are going to match, okay? But we have to remember, there's a Batman 2 coming up, okay? We don't know how the portrayal is gonna be. At the end of the Batman, the part one, the song's coming out, everything is in shambles, but he sees the sun, and then what is the quote, kid? What does he say? I forgot the quote, but it was so good, which is basically telling about a new beginning. Okay, yeah. So I'm giving you this little snippet just to make you realize, like, if they really want to put these two characters together, there's a way to do it that is going to be very different from what we saw. The whole Martha thing and the whole, which was a disaster. Okay, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And Professor, I want you to be positive about this. Okay, the actors are good. The writing is really good. I have no problem with giving Matt Reeves as much time as he needs to write this script. Right. I have no problem. Now, as it pertains to the financial problems that Professor was alluding to, you might be right, but these movies alone and having James Gunn here is their last shot. I think they're doing good. Correct. I don't think they're failing on it. Okay, so we're in the middle of it. We gotta let them, go to phase two.
Correct, and we also have to consider as well that we haven't had a chance to see the new film yet for Superman, so we don't even know exactly how they're going to be portraying Superman. We're guessing that it's going to be a lot brighter than what we saw in the Snyder films, but we really don't know that yet. Any final word, guys, about the Batman 2 news?
One thing. Bruce has always been dark. So when you say that the tones don't match, in the comic books and the cartoons and everything, they've always been dark and light. That's what made it so interesting. Bruce was always the cynical character and Cal was the optimistic one. So it was always that combination of how they became best friends and maintain that friendship and the ideologies. So when you say that the tones don't match, on paper, like aesthetically from afar, they don't match, but they have 75 years of being friends, and one is dark, one is light. The problem is Snyder openly admitted that he wanted to make a Batman movie. He just got Cal instead, and we all saw, because we're not blind, that was really a Batman movie. He just did Superman as the dark character, and it didn't work. So, and then when Ben Affleck came around, what did Ben Affleck do that was so controversial, if you recall? He was killing people in BVS. Literally with shotguns and machine guns, and you're like, oh, okay, this is not Batman. Now you've gone to the extreme of Cal and Bruce, as opposed to now, to TK's point, again, we're all speculating on Superman's film. I think it was genius that James Gunn showed Superman beat up so many times. Because what's the biggest counter argument? He's so strong. James Gunn is telling you, nah, he's gonna get destroyed. Unlike the other iteration where they portrayed him as a god.
Correct. All right. Jay did mention that Warner Brothers and Discovery, they are splitting. So if you didn't know, if things didn't work out for them, there is that split. So there is that financial aspect that he mentioned. Eagle also mentioned that. But thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully this news will bring something great for DC. So whether you're feeling Noir or you're feeling super, let us know in the comments and keep your fandom alive and your wardrobe engaged. Until next time, fellow nerds, this is Nerd Breaking.